You know, we're dealing with a virus that's hitting people at the minute, that's having a massive impact on how we live, how we work, how we move, how we socialise. And that gives me a brilliant segue into Paul, who's going to talk a little bit about security from a technical point of view. So cyber security, what should people be wary of right now? What should they be considering if they're working at home in the longer term, and what should they be considering in moving back potentially into an office environment? So I'm going to hand over to Paul DeVille. Thank you.
Afternoon all, hope everybody is keeping safe and well. Yes, COVID-19 is not the only virus you should be concerned about at the moment. There are lots of electronic versions out there that are causing people an awful lot of problems. I'm not going to go into ridiculous amounts of detail, but there are some very, very simple steps that people can take to ensure that they are as secure as possible while online and while working from home. Two big factors that we're being asked quite a lot at the moment by our clients are simply, my antivirus, is it any good, and am I covered and secured? And because I've got antivirus, I won't catch a virus. Well, that's like taking a headache tablet and expecting not to catch COVID-19. It's not going to work. It might help a little bit, but it's not going to work. You are never 100% protected, but you're taking the best precautionary measures possible to ensure that you don't contract any electronic viruses. And you get what you pay for in this world, so it's always best to go for a paid antivirus service. And like all software, it evolves, and new software is coming out all the time. And the new antivirus is known as EDR-based antivirus. And EDR stands for Endpoint Detection and Response. And what that basically means is it's got a constant online connection to the virus vendor. So somebody like McAfee, Kaspersky, Panda, Sentinel-1, whoever the vendor turns out to be, and is constantly live and up to date. Most antivirus products are what's called signature based, which means they're worked on definitions. So you have to update your antivirus to make sure your products are up to date and secure. Well, if you're unfortunately in a position where you're on a 0 day, which means that you get the virus first, your antivirus won't be up to date because you haven't downloaded the latest definitions. Where if you've got an EDR-based antivirus, it is virtually up to date 100% of the time. So the chances are mitigated against getting a virus with an EDR-based product. Some of the EDR-based product companies out there are actually guaranteeing now the fact that you will not contract ransomware with their products. Some are actually putting their money where their mouth is and actually guaranteeing it to $1 million, which is where some of them are going to say that if you get any sort of ransomware virus, they can recover your machine, which is a nice reassurance to have, but shouldn't be termed as being a solution to all the problems. But it does take another one of those tick boxes out the way that you can comfortably say that I've got good antivirus and I'm as secure as I can be at home. So if you're after antivirus, look for a paid one and look for an EDR based one. And if you need any help in choosing the right product for you or your business at home or work, please feel free to get in touch and we can guide and advise accordingly to your needs. The second thing we're getting a lot at the moment is I've got an email from my bank telling me to do this. Is it legitimate or not? And I'm sure we've all seen them, and I can hopefully share my screen. Sorry, the pictures aren't particularly good, but both the pictures on the PowerPoint presentation, one is a legitimate website and one is an illegitimate website. And to the naked eye, you can't really tell the difference. The illegitimate one, if I can find a better picture, which is that one, there are a few simple cues really that just make it really easy to spot if a website is legitimate or not. And that really is the top bar where you'd normally type in the URL that you want to visit the web page. You can tell straight away from that one that it isn't legitimate. And although the web page looks like Lloyds Bank, it isn't. Unfortunately, you can't really read that one, but that one is the legitimate side of it. The other thing as well, people get emails again, so they'll get an email from Lloyds Bank and they'll say, is this legitimate? Simplest thing to do is with this is the link in the middle. Don't click on it, but hover over it. Unfortunately, I can't do it with the PowerPoint presentation, but it will tell you what website that link is going to go to. And if it doesn't match what's written in the link, it's not a legitimate link. That's typically my phone going to go off. The other simple way of doing it is simply looking at who your email has come from. I've got an email here off Rob, and the one to the left says from Rob Bruce, but it's from finance@somegibberish.com, and he's given me a link. And the one on the right is from Rob, and he's given me a link. But the one on the left is definitely not a legitimate email. but to the naked eye and to people who are not paying proper attention at the time to what they're doing, click the link and can download a payload or a virus. And all the antivirus in the world won't do anything if you authorize that click. So getting the right antivirus in place to make sure that if you do click it, it goes, oh, actually, I don't think you want to do this. Are you sure? Is really, really important because it's so easy to make a mistake. The second one as well is all attachments have a dot something at the end. .docms are the ones you should avoid. The M stands for macro, and it usually means it's going to run something in the background. So make sure that any documents that are docms are thoroughly checked with your antivirus, or please make sure that whoever sent them you are a legitimate source and you are expecting it, because that is the easiest way to contract them. The other thing as well, like I said, looking at it, some emails look really, really legitimate, but you can tell that they just don't look correct from where they're coming from or where they're going to, because it's not the name of the company. So that's a real quick, simple way of just paying a little bit of attention to the things you get in your everyday life, and hopefully it will help people long term stay away from nasty viruses and horrible things.
Paul, thank you very much. I think that there's some really, really useful tips in there. It is so easy for people to get scammed, especially when they see something come through that kind of frightens them. So if they see something that says, you're in danger of your account being hacked, you need to take this action, their immediate response, an immediate human response is, oh my goodness, I need to sort that out. But actually you need to put that break in place first and think, is it real? And test it out before you act on it.